Hey, what's up everybody? How you guys doing? We got another crit game here, back by popular demand. People have been asking me about the crit series, and yeah, I guess a lot of you guys liked it because, you know, it's something that we don't get to see very often. Crit utilized in Duel successfully too, especially, so hopefully this will be a successful one. I decided to bring it back with, you know, my old staple god, Apollo himself. Steamy TV dinners, thank you so much for the 10 bits. Oh, he's dancing. How do we dance? Oh, I don't have a dance. Apollo doesn't even have a dance. You know how long he's been in this emo? Damn it! Look, he's up showing. He's showing us up. God damn it! Now we're fucked. Look at that. That's all because of the dance. So I'm gonna be going for early. What is it? I always forget the crit items names because I don't use them ever. So, Poison Star, early Poison Star, and then the rest of the crit will probably come a little bit later in the build. Like I said, when I do a crit game, I try to truly stick to you know, what will actually make it a successful crit game. It's 2 crit items or more, but they're not, you know, just rush all at once. I don't think that's ever the way to do it successfully in Duel. If you're trolling and, you know, or you're just pub stomping, then sure, you can get away with it. But if you're, you know, trying to go up against higher level players, you gotta be realistic about it and try to build the crit in a way that complements your overall build. I'm gonna let him just get that red buff because that should be his. He's Hades. He's, you know, not much I can do about it. He's one of the only gods that, like, you start Bancrofts on, and yet you still win the red buff. Because most of the Bancroft's gods, you have to give up the red buff. But he's just got such free clear, like literally free clear. And he doesn't even take up that much mana either. See, he's just used his pot now because he had it before that wave. Wow, he even took that down. Did not expect him to take that. So that starts him out with his early lead that you honestly just have to respect and let Hades have. You don't want to challenge him too much in the early and get yourself blown up. Gonna have to buy your time. So I've been going attack speed boots more on Apollo lately. Even though he, you know, already has it in his passive, the finger bullets. I think it's good to still go the Ninja Tabby because you don't get attack speed until so late into these Hunter builds right now. Early game Hunter, or early game Apollo versus Hades, this is how it really is. Like, people just beat you relentlessly and you just have to stand there and take it and wait for your opportunity. Your vengeance. Because your clear is so shit compared to his. Other hunters, like maybe an On-Her, wouldn't have had to give him the red buff there. But since I am Apollo,
your middle tower is under attack.
We live an Apollo life. I know it's called Audacity. You know, with a shell, he's got a good starting build. Very standard. Always what you want to do against Hades is try to get ahead of him so that you can clear his wave out before the 2 waves meet. That way he doesn't, like, heal his creeps with his own shit, and you know, you can try to get some extra poke on him that he will immediately nullify. Damn, that's good damage, but it's not enough, unfortunately. I think the red will be up before he gets back, though, maybe. Because my son of a bitch. Alright, so it doesn't do too much for us. Yeah! But maybe if we get there in time to contest now. Oh, and also, say hello to Yzma. I've been deciding I'm just going to start putting up some, like, random pictures there for every once in a while, since I'm not really planning on doing face cam for a bit. At least for a bit. It might be permanent, you know, I'll be honest. It's been more productive for my stream. I've been able to stream longer. I've been able to stream, you know, more days. And obviously that's what's most important. So I decided to at least get creative with it, you know. If you haven't seen the Emperor's New Groove, which Yzma is from, you absolutely should. Always take the fight to Hades when he doesn't have the wave. There's no new wave of yours coming in. Go straight for him, because you will win the boxing match. And it's your opportunity to try to stop him healing up. It's so obnoxious. That, wow. I was fucking a second away from death, and yet... Oh, that's rough. But I think we might still... Nope, pick up a red buff. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't try to go back in on me there. I think he would have killed. Damn, that sucks. Both of us just kind of went for it there, and it just went his way. But at least he expended his ult, so that's good. But, yeah. This guy's underestimating himself in a lot of... Oh no. If he realizes to take my blue here, we're gonna be sorry. Yep, he does. Shit. That's rough. You can just 3 it and finish it. Just trying to get the 2 from 1. Ah, of course he got it. Alright, alright. Like I said, you gotta let him just bully you in the early, though. Oh. Gotta let that happen and just try to take the scraps. I'm gonna go for missiles.
Your middle tower is under attack.
At least we get a lot of creeps here. He took all the buffs, so he's got a nice, juicy experience lead. But yeah, it's just all patience with Apollo. It's all patience with Apollo in general right now. Like, that's how he plays. And Hades is one of those matchups that it really shows, because he beats Hades. He beats him pretty strongly, too. And yet, the early game looks like this. So, just goes to show the kind of god he is, and I hate that kind of god, so that's why I haven't been playing him much anymore. Just too passive and reliant on getting to late game. Like, I like doing that with, like, mages who have to stick their necks out, like, Cuckoo and stuff, like, who are already, you know, like, pretty bad. Like, Apollo, he's good enough that I want to be able to fight with him up close, and then he's not at the same time. It's awkward, and it's just unfulfilling for me. It's more fulfilling to win by camping with someone like Cuckoo, who, you know, you shouldn't be winning with, than with Apollo. It's just how I feel. And we want to just clear this away from him. Yeah, so Yzma from the Emperor's New Groove, easily one of the greatest characters of all time. Maybe while he's doing that, I could take this. Maybe, maybe. Probably not. I don't have, like, an Xe yet, so it's tough to actually do shit to him. Thought I could reach in and hit the creep, but all I hit was Hades. But we got his ult again. Like I said, it's all just him kind of prolonging the inevitable here, unless he gets a major win, like an early kill. He might just jump over the small. Nice. Now we ult out. And maybe we can take our own blue off of this. Nice. Alright, great stuff. So we didn't get the red, but we got both blues.
Nice.
Nice. Get Shield of Thorns. Yeah, I'll get Shield of Thorns for the Hades ult. Even though he gets protections in the ult and stuff, even just against his 3, like a lot of his damage is predictable, and if you Thorns it, you know, he takes a beating. That's always fun to be able to do. He healed up that one minion though.
Your middle tower is under attack.
You really never want to use your beads on his ult. It's like a last-ditch effort kind of thing. You want to always prioritize having your dash up for it. Because truthfully, in the late game, the thing you want to fear the most when it comes down to it is his... I'm sorry, the thing you want to beads the most, I gave it away, is his fear. Good. Force out the Shield of Thorns. I knew he was looking for it. He was back into a corner, and that was pretty much his only choice if he wanted to win the boxing match. Almost back to even. He went straight into Nemean actually instead of Breastplate. That's weird, because Hades really needs the cooldown, in my opinion at least. He has very long cooldowns. It will help him, obviously, against my autos, but... Using the Shield of Thorns here, I'm not sure who will win this trade. It's close as fuck. Okay. He's shelled though. See, watch. If he comes back in for like a big play, that's when you're gonna use the beads to beads the fear, just ruin his plans. Didn't, and because he didn't, now we're just gonna take the tower, and we can take the red.
Your team has destroyed a middle enemy tower.
Keep a safe little distance. He's just gonna go and heal though. It's the worst part about Pestilence. I think he might have even been outside of my range of it there, so. Don't hit me, guys. There, I got the Executioner. Yeah, that's the worst part about Pestilence is that it's got that aura passive. And, you know, against somebody like Hades, who's just gonna run to the wave, a lot of times you can't get there to inflict him with the Pestilence passive. So I wish there was a more reliable anti-heal defense item, but that's why, you know, what's it called? The new Toxic Blade is so insanely strong, because it's just relying on hitting your own autos, especially for an ADC or like an auto attack based warrior. That's broken. And it will be picked up here after my chins. Oops.
Your sin is mine.
Okay, I think we just got that. This is gonna be a close one.
First blood.
Wow. Oh my god, that was first blood? I thought I killed him already. Jesus. No, instead of killing him, I got the tower. That's right. Yeah, so I went for the beads, and unfortunately, he just had too much health. I couldn't see his health because it was obscured by the freaking walls. I hate when that happens so much. I'll actually go the anti-heal here first. But that's all well and good. He's gonna be able to take down that tower, and that's all. We've already gotten his tower, so we're already in a fine spot. Oh, he didn't take that by 9 HP. He's still similar to us in experience as well, so not bad at all. Just a little bit of miscalculation and a little bit of greed. You know, I have 16 minutes or 15 minutes without first blood. I get antsy. What do you think his plans are? Interesting. Great that he just gave us the red buff there. I'm not sure why. Oh, he was looking for to see if I was going for Bull Demon. It was a good position for me to go for Bull Demon in. And a lot of times I'll try to trick people and I'll go Bull Demon while red's up. So he knew. But he didn't. With the red buff, I have a significant advantage here, so I'll play around that. But not in the wave. We might have him here. Yeah. Yeah.
False god.
That's the problem with Hades, unfortunately. Once he, you know, spends everything. Well, that's the problem with Hades versus an ADC. The ADC is always viable, you know. They will, no matter what they've used, their autos will always just be king. So if it's down to you having nothing and the ADC having nothing, the ADC is going to blast you to bits because he's just got autos, and that's all he needs at his arsenal. So as long as I have that at my disposal and he's already used some shit, he's just done. And yeah, it's true. It's also a big problem with going anemia instead of the cooldown. He needed that cooldown reduction. He's gone into a Polynomicon here, and here's where I think his build is starting to falter a little bit. I'm not sure the Poly is the play. I think he really needs anti-heal here more than anything. Poly's great on Hades as a luxury item, but you know, when you're thinking about counter building your opponent, he really needs that. I see he's going for probably the Guardian here, and that'll probably be a good buy for him. Smart of him at least to not use his ult in that last situation. We're both going at it. We can do a lot to this right now. Nice damage. Get that Toxic Blade and almost, yeah, the whole chins. big back for us. Now see what I just did? I dashed and then I'm going to use my ultimate, and I'm not going to do it because I'm going to kill myself. I know I will. I do it every time. I dash and then ult as Apollo, and then you land without a dash, and it's the worst thing ever. Don't do that. I do it literally all the time. It's truthfully probably the worst Apollo play you can make. Yeah, you did go Big Guardian. Now instead I have a dash. He baited out his ultimate. Wow, he's just going for it.
You've done a crime.
Really close. A good attempt there. He was hitting a lot of his poly shots, so he did get me very low, and I chose not to beads his fear there. I don't think I ever beads, right? Yeah, so if I was in more of like imminent danger in any of those scenarios like that last one, I would have beads the fear so that I get more autos in. Because what his fear does is disrupts your auto attack game as an ADC, and it, you know, makes you face the other way or just completely disorient yourself. Either way, he played that very well, but unfortunately, in the end, it was just Apollo's game, and I knew how to play it to get there. GG. Oh my god, this was supposed to be a crit game. Oh no. Oh no.